I'm Dorothy Rowe, Self-Judgment and Ancestors. As healing continues to refine, from the inside out, more time is spent doing what you love, and less time is spent in survival or emergency mode. Even the things you do and the feelings you have during the most dynamic, challenging moments are colored with ease and grace rather than anxiety. This is why we spend so much healing time on the process of purification. The most likely time for the system to strain is during purification. Conditioned negative responses are triggered by the purification process. When and if anxiety comes, it is almost always a response to purification. This healing is quickening the recognition of purification and helps you lean into it rather than resist it. Clearing from the astral body, the ancestral archive, and the epigenome, beliefs that purification is bad. Purification is uncomfortable, but evolutionary. Evolution is good. Evolution is so good that the universe would rather make you uncomfortable than stop the evolutionary process. Knowing this, life becomes very easy when purification is accepted as an essential component. Purification is far more comfortable when it is respectively recognized and engaged. Humility, recognition, and gratitude are moving together to fill the gaps where resistance once lived. As they continue flowing, these three values also nourish the ancestors. Therefore, both you and your lineage work together to raise purification to its appropriate status in the tapestry of life. This healing process goes deep into the body, deep into the epigenome, where it speaks to the DNA. It has roots in the astral body, for this is where ancestral connections reside. Your epigenome speaks to the ancestors' DNA, weaving tales of this modern world. The ancestors understand our modern world within themselves as a feeling of boundless potential. These tales inspired them to devotedly fulfill their life's purpose in spite of the unavoidable hardships of their time. In centuries past, even the simplest comfort required great effort. Therefore, the pattern of being in survival mode emerges from ancestral connections in the astral body. We are addressing this pattern that is no longer appropriate for present life experiences. Even though this is a more comfortable time in human history for most people, the patterns of struggle still exist at a deep level of the body. Clearing from the four dense levels of the body, the feeling that it is safer to be hard on yourself than to open the door for others to be hard on you. Clearing the belief that if you are hard enough on yourself, that others will leave you alone. Clearing justifications of harsh self-treatment. Going to the sacred inner sanctum of the heart. This is where your relationship with yourself resides. Forgiveness, compassion, and acceptance are flowing. The presence of these feelings in the sacred inner sanctum of the heart is communicating to the ancestors as well. Your body is like a tuning fork that is the home of grace. It vibrates with the most refined frequencies of self-understanding, self-love, self-acceptance, and balance. As you give to your own ancestry, you also integrate these values into your own being. This is a key principle of energy healing. We create the medicine that we ourselves need. Applying it widely brings it home as your awareness returns with comfort to the ocean of God's love, divine being. From the astral through the mental levels of the body, clearing the idea that the threat of death stands behind one's actions. Of course, death is always a possibility, but only in the rarest of cases is it probable. Realigning the feeling of death to its appropriate probability. Clearing habits of using the fear of death to self-manipulate. For example, if I don't eat X amount of protein every day, I will die. Clearing this type of thinking and the feelings that go with it from the mental and emotional bodies. Under that, clearing deeper feelings associated with these types of threatening thoughts from the etheric and physical bodies. Identifying and applying the value of absolute balance to the perception of death. Like all other experiences in life, death happens at its appropriate time. It only happens in one moment. The rest of the moments of life are for other types of enjoyment and evolution. The idea of death is more than loss of life. It is a form of self-judgment. This is a universal deva. Yama is the Vedic term. Judgment, followed by self-punishment, does not serve evolution. However, there are forms of self-understanding that take into consideration the effects of your actions upon yourself and others. The ability to recognize the mechanics of emotional evolution in multiple people simultaneously develops from expanded perception. Our emotional bodies form a tapestry in the field of life. Each one's body hums or vibrates at its own unique frequency. They are different, and yet they are responsive to each other, orienting the heart to ever aim for optimal balance. In the presence of others, your body and your being become an instrument for the flow of divine grace. By anchoring yourself to wholeness, optimal balance is achieved. We recognize the effects of our own actions on the environment and then return to wholeness. This return infuses balance into the field of life's expression. It brings grace to even the most difficult issues and situations, even the most difficult feelings. Even the darkest feelings have the potential to promote good evolution in every corner of creation. It is the anchor to wholeness that allows the darkness to refine and take on a form that supports life. Thank you for being with me.